It's in the game.
Hello everyone, I'm RedB5.
And I am Sandman99.
And we're back for our Madden 2005 Lifers franchise.
Year 2. And we are in the wild card round.
Yeah.
We're not actually in the wild card round, though. We get a bye week. Because we finished with #1 seed in the conference at 16-0. So,
yeah, well, what can we say?
So we're just going to simulate the wild card round. Look at this, the Desperados at 14-2 have to play a wild card game.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah. Anyway, here we go.
Come on, Wizards.
Simulate the wild card round.
Hey, the Wizards won.
Did they?
I think. Yeah, they did. They're going up against the Tigers.
The Wizards are going up against the Tigers. And we have to play
the Cocks.
The male poultry barnyard type birds in the wild card round. Or in the divisional playoff round, sorry. So it looks like we got a break here. We won't have to play both the Desperados and the Zombies, assuming that we defeat our divisional opponent, because they play each other. So here we go.
All right. Thinking extra hard on the profile?
Yeah. Well, I forgot to press the button.
Oh.
Before I thought I would just go ahead and, cycle down through the playbooks, and I forgot that I have to actually get there first. So here we go. Now we're there. And of course the male poultry barnyard type birds,
Cocks,
in addition to having a very tough defense, have a very hard-nosed, tough rushing offense.
Yeah, well, they have Mike Penn.
Well, we're assuming that they still do. We didn't actually play them this season in the regular season. But in our inaugural regular season game last season, the very first week, they beat us.
Yeah, but that's because they're a bunch of dicks.
Well, so far, it looks like their key players are a linebacker and both corners. So it looks as though you're going to be up against it today.
Well, that's okay. We don't really run to the left anyways.
Yeah, the right outside linebacker. But the left outside linebacker is probably a good player, too, on this team.
EA Sports welcomes you to another great NFL matchup. Thanks for joining us for continuing coverage of this year's NFL playoffs. Each of tonight's teams feature big play people on both sides of the ball. This one could go right down to the final gun as the visiting team.
Those big play people.
It's the home team. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the game. I'm Al Michaels. With me, as always, is John Madden.
You talk about a quarterback.
Well, there's a big play guy right there.
This guy has
And he's a big guy, too.
He's not a big play guy. He's just a guy. Throws 10-yard passes.
Yeah.
It's like I've got the biggest 10-yard passes in the league.
And with that being said, let's take a look at his best receiver. He has all the skills you'd want in a wideout, and he's a pretty good blocker in the run game as well.
Yeah, back-to-back seasons as the leading receiver in the league.
Why he is considered one of the very best in the business.
They do stuff like that these days. You get all warmed up, stretch a little, then you get together as a team, say a little something, and you start going crazy.
Now let's go to midfield for the game's coin toss.
Uh-oh. Oh, they elected to receive. So I guess we'll defend this end of the field.
Teams are lined up.
Clearly they have a lot of faith in their offense rather than their defense.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look and see who we're up against here. Well, look at that. They got a guy who can scramble around a little bit playing quarterback. Charlie Simpson.
Yep.
And, oh, look at that.
Mike
Penn is out. So they got Pat Gooden.
He's a bit big.
Whoever he is.
He's a bigger guy.
Yeah, he's not as good at breaking tackles as Mike Penn, though. So actually, I'm kind of relieved not to have to face him. So pretty mediocre at fullback.
Well, not bad.
Yeah, they got some speed guys at wide receiver on both sides, though. And
a slow tight end and a fast one.
Yeah, I remember this guy, actually. I don't remember what team he played for, but I remember his name.
So if they play a 2 tight end set, you'll want to play a nickel.
Yeah. And it looks like they don't really have an extremely strong offensive line. But their defense, of course, they've got Supermen at left and right end.
Yep.
And pretty tough guys in the middle. There's their left outside linebacker. Inside, right outside linebacker. 99 rated overall.
Oh, no wonder he's a player to watch.
And they got 2 99 rated cornerbacks.
Oh my god.
With 98 and 97 speed, respectively. So, and at safety, they're merely pretty good.
I like how we call a superstar player pretty good.
Yeah, well, you know what? These 2 guys would be superstars, but when you compare them to the corners, well, you know. So
mediocre kicker. They have 2 kickers.
Yeah, it definitely looks to me like it's going to be a big problem trying to avoid committing turnovers and that kind of thing against these guys.
It's fine. Bad things happen when you go to the air.
Uh-huh. Well, against these guys, I think that's probably a true statement. So, anyway. It looks as though they've definitely beefed up their passing attack to match their strong defense.
Well, maybe a little. I don't know. They got no depth beyond the first stringers.
Yeah. But that's what I'm worried about is those first stringers, though, because I'm wondering how they're going to match up against the guys that we've got.
And welcome back.
I definitely, even though our
ready to kick this one off.
Rookie who's playing right corner right now for us, even though he's a speedy guy, I'm a little nervous about him because he did allow a lot of passes to be caught. And that was one thing about Hallman. He wasn't as fast, but he also
was a lot more smart.
Yeah, he did not allow a lot of passes to be completed to his side of the field, right?
He played more smarter, more better.
Yep, pretty much.
Yep, back everybody off.
Yep.
The visiting team line up in the bunch formation. He'll pass on a first down. Fakes the throw.
Wow, you got double teamed there.
Yeah, that's okay. He threw it right at the linebacker.
Almost had the interception.
Boston did not get the catch.
Wasn't even seen. That's a great play.
No, you know, he didn't bring his eye patch today, but it's obvious what he's doing out there.
Yeah, it's obvious. Whoop, there we go.
Only one man back. Simpson with a man in motion. Great play in the backfield by Seymour. The NFL playoff.
See, what I'm doing here is I put a new wrinkle into the nickel defense. And the idea is that I wanted to have more people to stop the run.
Yep.
And so now I've obviously got more people to stop the run.
So let's pick up the action.
Because I really, really hate giving up those long runs up the middle
for touchdowns
that they seem to be able to keep doing, and there's nothing that I can do to stop them.
Yeah,
because even the referee will get in on the act and and block out a safety and that kind of thing.
Anybody's head here, so they back up the secondary.
Closing in with the throw. Yeah.
Nice.
Pass ball's incomplete. A
Go
short pass
Boston.
off the mark, and it's now 4th
Yeah,
down.
that's 2 knockdown passes for him in the first series here.
Offense couldn't get it done, and they'll line up the punt. Here's the punt.
Wow, you're really going to be able to return this.
Yeah, I am. For a little ways, anyway.
The offense heads out onto the field for the first time.
I mean, that's a pretty good return. I'd be happy with that.
Well, you have to start with the ball at midfield.
So they have 1st and 10 here.
You just got to be careful and take care of it.
He sees something in the defense. Hand it off. Through it, makes the stop at the 46.
Well, I got a little bit of a snag there, but I managed to get off.
That's okay. That's a good start.
The first down marker is just inside the 40. Number 6 with a man in motion. They give it to the halfback. Carrier records the tackle at the 42-yard line. Gain of 3.
Well, you're not doing too bad.
The first down marker is just inside the 40. Directing traffic. Number 6 sends a man in motion. Hands off to the tailback.
Well, there you go.
At the 38-yard line.
Running against the tough D. Wow.
Yeah, a really good call there.
Well, doing my
Because
best
the defense
anyways.
was sure that they were going to go with a pass play. When the ball was handed off, they kind of had to react mid-spring.
Changing the play now.
You didn't like that setup?
No, because that linebacker was creeping in there.
Hand it off to the back. Beasley is the guy who's there to bring it down at the 36. 2-yard gain.
Because he decided to cheat into that gap.
First down.
And I thought that he might hit me before I hand the ball off.
Oh, I see.
Defense
You were
lines up
looking
in the
for
nickel.
someone to maybe pop through the line, eh?
Yeah.
Drops back.
I think we'll have to pause the recording here.
Yeah. We will pause momentarily.
And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. We're getting a little work done on our gas lines today, so
Let's get back to the action on the field.
gonna have
Good read,
to
finding
might
a
have
single
to
coverage
pause
in the
again
secondary.
at some point. But we'll keep going.
So they have 1st and 10 here.
Well, you're on a roll so far, early in the game here.
The visiting team come out in a nickel package, calling an audible now. Roberts, the motion man.
Oh, I tried to get around my tight end there who got pushed backwards there, and then I had to cut in.
He knows
Yep.
how to prepare, and it really pays off. When
Man,
make
how do you get
stops
pushed
like
back
that.
by a linebacker?
Well, you got to remember who these guys are, right?
Second play of this drive, within scoring distance. The defense lines up in the nickel. Number 6 with a man in motion. Gains.
There, that time he managed to hold his position, eh?
17-yard line.
Well, good. We needed him to.
1 yard to go. Looks like he's changing the play. Looks like he's calling an audible.
Just wanted to get him to keep that safety up there.
Yeah.
Hands it off to the fullback.
Ooh, I think you just barely made it.
Yep.
Third down conversion.
I'll tell you, this time they
Still
went to the
counts.
ground.
Yeah, that guy's complaining to the referee, and I think he's saying somebody was holding.
To be first down.
Ha.
The way you see, he was gesturing with his hands.
Yep,
right?
yep. Double man coverage on a wide receiver there.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Pressure.
Ah, shit.
So they'll lose yardage.
I didn't have time there.
Great
Yeah,
effort
bad
that time.
things happen when you go to the air.
I know, but I can't run against that.
Playing for a while now.
I know.
Let me tell you, he might never be better than
You
he
even
is
had
right
2
now.
extra blockers there too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and they just sliced right through there and got you.
The first down marker is just inside the 6-yard line.
I guess that's going to happen sometimes.
The visiting team come out in a nickel package. Number 6 sends a man in motion. They give it to the halfback.
Yeah.
Beasley makes the stop.
How do you? He's standing. He didn't even run past him.
Well, somebody slipped through the line and got you from
Well,
behind.
no,
though, right?
that's not what happened. I cut up here because
Yeah.
who misses his block?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you weren't going anywhere anyways, but it wasn't that guy that got you.
Well, I wouldn't have cut. I wouldn't have cut forward though. If,
Yeah, I suppose,
if
eh?
that guy,
Yeah.
because watch me, I turned to this direction
Yeah.
because you know, what am I supposed to do?
Back to the game.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well, now you got to throw a pass of some sort.
The first down marker is just inside the 6-yard line.
Just remember, take care of the ball. Kick the
Line up with
field
6
goal if you
defensive
have to.
backs. Number 89 comes in motion. Surveying the field. Rolling. And it's complete. They wrap him up immediately.
Yeah, that's a good job of hitting the guy before he could make any moves on you.
Well, you did a good job there anyway. You moved the ball a little bit. You protected it.
Lines up for the field goal to try to put them on the board for the first time in the game.
And you got us some points.
And it's on its way. No
Yep.
doubt about that one. The home team is set to kick it deep.
And you took about half the first quarter off the clock.
Well, that's kind of why I like to run plays with the space tight ends. The
Yeah.
space tight ends counteract the space backer over there.
They'll set
Yeah.
up for the return
Kind of a short kickoff.
from the 6.
I guess better to get low power than to get kicking it out of bounds.
Yep, that's right. What do we got going on here?
So they have 1st and 10 here. Dropping back. Throws on the run. Incomplete. Simpson appeared to feel the pressure though.
So many
Can be
passing
pretty
attacks
crowded in
NFL
there
rely on timing.
when
you can put pressure
they're
on the
trying to
passer,
do stuff
you
like
never
that.
give him a chance to get into a rhythm, and you force him to throw the ball before he wants to.
Backing off. The visiting team line up in the bunch formation.
Oh, there you go. Double safety
Yeah,
action.
you know that whole
Yeah.
deal about what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Well, the unstoppable force won that one.
Are they coming out in the goal line formation?
they sure are.
I'll just make sure to back your wide receivers off.
There's no wide receivers in this formation.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't need to worry about anybody outrunning me.
Throws it.
Boy,
How do you?
that was a touchdown if he'd have caught that.
He had a chance to cradle that.
Yep.
How did he drop it? Yar.
Yep. What can you do?
Nothing happening for the offense. They're forced into a 3-and-out.
Well, at least he's not one of the ones with the peg leg out there.
I don't know. I think that's probably as good a chance to score defensive points as I'm ever going to get in this game.
So they have 1st and 10 here. Calling an audible now. Hudson, the man in motion. Looking to run it here. Bailey.
I snapped that super late.
Yeah, well,
36.
so long as you get it, get the play started before you run out of time.
It's second down and 5 to go. Calling an audible. Looking for an option. Throwing.
Oh, he coughed it up.
Pass ball's incomplete. Good pass.
Damn it.
He just
Yep.
couldn't handle it. The visiting team come out in a nickel package. Number 6 sends a man in motion.
Okay, here we go.
Goes with a short pass to the right side.
Well, that works even against these guys.
That's what he does when he gets into
I had a lot of room over there, too.
Yep, there was a lot of room over there.
But that guy's pretty fast. He actually dragged me down from behind, and I have 99 speed with Quincy White.
Yep.
So we have
Yeah, well, their corners have 99 speed as well, right? So I don't think you're going to be throwing any deep passes that are going to, you know, that you're going to get anybody behind these guys. Of course, you don't throw deep passes anyways, so.
No, I'm allergic to deep passes.
You also got tackled before you could hand the ball off.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
It's in the game.
It is. It's in the game.
They have to reach the 30 to convert. Throws it. This pass
Wow,
is
look at that, eh? The blocking didn't set up there for some reason.
It kind of works funny on that side sometimes.
Yeah, they don't always follow the assignment that you give them either, right? They act like they're pass blocking or something weird like that.
Yeah, sometimes.
You know, like instead of charging ahead and engaging the guy they're supposed to block, they just sort of back away and act like they're trying to protect your quarterback, which is not really appropriate for that situation, but...
Dropping back with the throw.
Whoa.
Yeah, I couldn't fling it past him there.
Yep, there was a bit of a crowd there.
Well, what ended up happening was, like, that linebacker on the other side of the formation dropped back in the middle. And normally I would have led the pass to the inside and tried to lead him around that guy who was following him so that he could catch it inside of him.
Yeah.
But instead, what ended up happening was that linebacker dropped back and filled that hole.
Very shallow,
so I couldn't actually throw it there. Well, that's an inside the 20 punch.
Yep, that is.
Not much inside the 20, but...
First and 10. Number 34, the deep man. Passing on first down. Throwing. Great throw. Number 96 records the stop.
I think that was their halfback coming out of the field. Backfield.
Textbook first down.
Yeah,
halfback number 34?
They like to run those little circle routes, eh? To their running backs.
Only one man in the backfield. Throwing on first down. Gets rid of it.
Wow, he hit your player with it.
Yep.
It missed the mark.
Well, he was under pressure there a little bit, and
chance to set his feet. I'll tell you one thing. This defensive coach sure has his defensive
Yeah,
line
he might
pumped
be
up.
overall 93, but with a speed rating as high as he's got, it's not going to be all quarterback awareness, right?
No.
Simpson with split backs. Throws it, and he hits his target.
You know, for a
Alford
low-rated
makes the play.
offensive
That's
line, they
the
did a hell of a
That
good
was
job
good
of protecting
adjustment
him
by the
there.
receiver as he reads the man coverage and finds open space.
The thing with these option routes is everyone has to make their read quickly and make their adjustments quickly. Running option routes and running them effectively takes a lot of repetition and practice.
Number 34. He's free.
Oh.
43
I think that's definitely a fumble.
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
You could tell they were trying to jar the ball loose the way they were putting their helmet on the ball. That's what we call playoff tackling.
That's what we call playoff tackling. Yeah, they're going to challenge
And
it.
after conversing with his coaches upstairs, he decides to challenge this one.
And I think that's the right thing to do.
Clearly a big momentum shift could be in the making as we take a look at a possible
I think that's a fumble.
And they really had no
I don't
choice
know.
but to challenge it because of what it
I
could
think
be
it's a
for
dice
both
roll.
teams. I don't know.
Tell you the truth.
It's a tough call from seeing that angle.
I think it's a dice roll. I think they're probably going to overturn it just because it came up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess his knee did, from that angle, his knee definitely.
He takes advantage of the option to challenge the play, and it pays off.
You bet.
Too bad.
From a bad play to a good one. And that does a lot for your team. Now let's see if they can take advantage of it.
What?
He's taken down to the backfield.
Well, okay.
I think somebody forgot to block you there on that pass play.
I think that was that quarterback sweep thing. Right? I think that was that designed quarterback run, except that I don't think they were expecting me to
Blitz.
burst through the middle like that.
Yeah. Well, I think they're supposed to have some pulling linemen on that play.
Yeah.
47. 6-yard gain.
But apparently they didn't trade their assignments properly.
Apparently not.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Backing off. The offense lines up with split backs behind the quarterback. Throws it. And
man.
hits his target.
Now this is one heck of a play. Look at it. You're in a hole here on third down. They come
Always
through
the
with this
slant.
Perfect play that gets you the first and keeps the drive going.
Yep, always the slant. Oh, that's the end of the quarter.
So at the end of one, the score is 3-0.
Well then.
And we're ready to start the second quarter. First and 10.
Well,
Number 34 is the deep back. Gives the ball off. Seymour pulls him down.
Go Seymour.
33-yard line. And John?
see what I'm doing here. You'll notice that I've got everybody up. Like I've got basically both of the safeties up on the line on the outside.
Yep.
And I've got a 4-man line. This is a nickel package, so I've got 2 linebackers. It's basically like a 4-4. And then this is cornerback 3. And these 2 guys are not safeties, they're the corners.
And it's just because they can drop back faster.
Yeah, the idea is here I want to counteract that tendency that the AI has to run up the middle here and somehow manage to block out all these guys and turn, what should be short runs into instant touchdowns.
Yep.
And this way, the referee can block one guy, and if they get the offensive lineman down to block one guy, well, that leaves one guy left yet. Plus, the safeties out here usually don't get engaged by blockers.
Yeah, they have a tendency to disengage and run around.
But they were still trying it. Like, watch this guy, right? He should have blocked this linebacker, and he didn't. right? Because he wants to get down the field and block somebody. And
Yep.
But this guy's job is not really to stop anything. He's going to engage this guy and eat up that block so that the other two guys can move in, right?
Yep.
And watch the safety, though, pursuing the run to the inside. He's got a good angle to come back.
Yeah, he cuts up...
Right?
Yep.
So even if somehow, and then you see him coming up here as well. So it's basically just another tactic that I'm trying to use to stop them from being able to do that nonsense.
And cheese you.
You know, like running up the middle for a massive touchdown after losing yards for the entire game, right?
Yep.
Only one man back. Number 34. Stop.
Don't you love it when they run to the side that you blitz from?
Yeah.
Nice play.
I
He's one
do,
of those
actually.
every down players. He's not a situational guy. You want him out there in every snap. He's smart. He plays with leverage, and you can count on him to make a big defensive play just when you need it.
Simpson back in the shotgun. Throws it. The pass.
There's an
Nice.
interception by Brown.
Great play on the outside.
See, watch this. See, he's playing a deep zone over here. And he just comes over and picks off the pass because of the position that he started in, right?
Yep. He can just cut that right off.
Yeah. And basically what I'm doing is I'm playing man-to-man coverage with the corners on the outside. Although, actually, no, I'm playing this is actually a version of almost like a cover 2
Yep.
zone. Like the corners are playing a flat zone down on the outside.
The only difference is you got 3 deep instead of 2.
Yeah, I've got 3 deep instead of 2. So it's a little bit tougher for them to beat the deep zone coverage.
Well, Brown is a pretty good player, too.
Yeah, well, that was a big play.
Handed off to the back. Ziegler is the guy.
Well, I got out of the backfield at least.
Yeah, that guy slid off of his block pretty quickly, but you managed to
This
get
defense can
move
really
ahead
get
a little
after the ball.
before he got
Once
you.
they figure out where the play is going, they do a great job shedding their block, and they have closing speed to get to a ball carrier very quickly.
Looks like he's changing the play.
They can't challenge an interception, though.
Gets rid of it, and he makes the grab. Nice read, finding the receiver who was in single coverage. So we have 1st and 10 here. Roberts goes in motion. Again with the carry.
Well, that turned out to be kind of a mess over there.
And he chases him down
Yeah, really.
behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
I'll tell you, he's one of the most knowledgeable defenders in the league. He knows
Well,
how
I don't
to
know.
play the game, and he always
Sometimes
knows
you win
what's
some,
going on.
sometimes you lose some.
Yeah.
2nd and 10.
Nobody covering Hudson?
Possibly not.
Dropping back. Gets the pass off.
No, they were
And
covering
the pass is
Hudson, but it was a
complete.
zone
Number 6
coverage,
will be
right?
facing a 3rd down now after that pass.
They must have audibled.
Yeah.
And this is the 5th play of this drive. 5 yards to go. The visiting team come out in a nickel package. Calling an audible now. Drops back. Surveying the field. He finds
Yeah.
his man. Miller with the stop at the 49-yard line.
Well, basically, I'm just watching that safety, right? And if he drops back, then
We're in a tough spot here. But this is
can
a
throw
heck
that
of a throw
underneath.
and catch to pick up that 1st down.
Directing traffic. Rolling. And the catch is made.
Yeah, they're playing kind of a big cushion on him there, eh?
Well, they know McCoy can catch, unlike Roberts.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be that scared of his speed, though, that I'd give him a 5-yard cushion.
Ah, well.
Changing the play now. McCoy, the motion man. Hand off to the tailback. He just unloaded on him.
I had to sneak around the guard there, and it just didn't work out for some reason.
Well, you see that guy do the rip move and go to the inside, so you got to try and go to the other side, right?
Too bad.
About 4 to go.
Well, I'm just going to run it here.
White. Dropped in the backfield for a short loss. White couldn't get out of the backfield.
Oh, well. Next time around, maybe audible to your empty backfield short pass.
Yo, they had a zone coverage out there, but I didn't want to run the screen again because I've already run it a couple times.
Oh, I wasn't thinking of the screen anyway.
I only call that short pass, the curls short pass. I only call that against man coverage pretty much. Yet another anti-man coverage pass.
Well, that took a good bounce.
They're playing us tough.
Yep.
But it's not surprising. They are a strong D team after all.
Passing on first down. Gets the pass off.
Oh, man.
Come on, Boston.
He's a pretty good cover linebacker.
Wow.
He can run with most guys, and he gets good position. Then he reads the pass, and he makes his move. So he'll drop a few like that one.
I think they just came out in a 4-wide receiver set, eh?
Yes, they did.
Oh, it's a bunch.
Yep.
They're going with a form of bunch formation here. He gets the carry. Great fake with the throw. Perfect pass. He just unloaded on him.
Boom. Now that is what football's all about.
Okay, well, here we go.
Yeah, they had the coverage, and they made the sure play instead of trying something fancy, like going for the pick.
3rd and inches.
Well, if you can stop them here.
Defensive line shifting around a bit. They've got receivers bunched together on both sides.
Wow, look at that. Even with an overshifted line, I couldn't stop them. Right? I was shifted to that side, too. Damn it.
Well, they're only now on their 22.
Yeah.
After all that effort.
He hands it off. Play action. Throwing on the run.
God damn.
I think
You guys
somebody...
have got to stop biting on that play action, man.
Yeah, Seymour there bit on the play fake.
Like, come on. Let's not be stupid about
when he
this.
moves like that. He's one of those guys who's good at creating. He's good at moving around back there. And then a lot of time he'll give his receiver an extra beat that he needs to get open.
The quarterback gets set with only one back behind him. Lewis records the tackle at the 39.
Well, at least you got Lewis there.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get this run established. When you can get it going in the ground, it really opens things up for the other options you have on offense.
Number 34 in the backfield. We'll get the ball again.
Crunch.
Number 43 is the guy who's there to bring
Too bad he didn't get it to him until after the
very
first down line.
Yeah.
And it was well executed. They hit their blocks, and the back found the right hole to get down the field and pick up a first down.
Number 34, the lone setback, throwing.
That's a tight end.
Ooh, that one will leave a mark.
He got hit so hard, he darn near had to take a taxi back to the stadium.
He was there to make the catch for the first down.
He's glad he made that catch. I'm sure the quarterback will look his way again when he needs another first down.
Number 34, the lone back. Steps up. And he's
Now you can have 300 pounds a guy on top of you. Or 600 pounds a guy.
Yeah, he did. He must be watching film of Michael Strahan.
Second and 15. They line up in the I formation with the pass. Short pass to the fullback.
You see that?
Solid hit. Just crunched it.
The DB slipped through there, right?
Yep.
Yep.
You just can't get rid of it.
Simpson is a short gain on that pass play, maybe 2 yards. They have to reach the 30 to convert. So as they get set to try to convert, here's what both teams have done on third down.
Third down conversions are usually a good barometer of how well your offense is playing.
That didn't have much of a chance.
Making big plays when they need them.
Moore will try to pin them inside the 10. Here's the kick.
No, he won't.
Well, that'll be a touchback.
Past the goal line, no
Wow.
return here.
It was so far a touchback that even after bouncing, it was still a
So
touchback.
they have first and 10 here. Calling an audible.
Double coverage on Hudson.
Yep.
Going to the air on first down. With the throw, and the catch is
They tried
made.
blitzing in the middle there, but everybody got picked up, eh?
Oh, thankfully.
Makes it hard for him to be sacked, and it gives the defense
You don't want to
less
get
time
sacked that
react.
close to your own goal line.
No. That's probably why they were doing that,
Visiting
though.
team come out in a nickel package.
Probably.
Green. Strickland records the stop at the 33-yard line.
Wow, I felt like I got more than a yard there.
Yeah. Well, you can take this down to 2 minutes
9 yards
anyway.
to go.
Probably will.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an overwhelming advantage, like that you'd want to run that play.
No, I'm just trying to line up in things that I can take care of the ball out of.
Well, yeah, I would definitely try that.
Hand it off to the back. Bailey makes the
There you
tackle
go.
at the
Well, I
40.
tried to run
And they
over
go
that
with
guy.
defense with the run.
Hey,
They're gonna
third
keep
down
running.
and
See
2
what
is
the other team is
actually
willing to
pretty
give them on the
manageable.
ground out there.
Right?
About 2 to go. These third downs haven't been much of an obstacle, and it's helped them to take
And
the
if you
lead.
can't make it, well, then at least you're in a good position to punt and keep them in their end of the field.
True. And keep the clock running, too.
Yeah.
Force them to use a timeout.
Pull back handoff. Stop behind the line. Lost the
Well, they just used a
There to make
timeout.
it Another outstanding defensive play.
He made a name for himself with plays like that. He's one of those guys that every defensive coordinator would love to have on his team. He's smart, he plays with good intensity, and he's a heck of a leader on and off the field.
Not much hang time on this one.
Well, not a bad bounce.
First and 10. The visiting team come out with 3 receivers tight. Pass play here on first down. Guns it out.
Oh, what was that? Wow.
I think he was under pressure there, and then he saw that guy.
He's lucky to be able to hold on to the ball.
The visiting
Oh,
team
well, they just spent the timeout.
They have one timeout left. There's about one.
Wow, what are they doing?
left.
Spending a timeout on a successful pass play?
I
The
don't
corners are backing
know.
up. The visiting team line up in the bunch formation. This pass is in.
They were trying the same thing there, although you had a coverage guy out there that time.
Well, that time I man locked too, right? The previous play I didn't.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to try to scree around on that too, eh?
Oh, probably.
The visiting team come out in the bunch formation. Gets rid of it. Incomplete. Not much touch on that pass.
They may have tried to put a little too much oomph on that throw.
The home team backs its secondary off the line to be in better position to defend the deep pass. Number 34, the lone back. Drops back. Under pressure with the throw.
Oh, that was almost a fumble. Wow.
We're coming now to punt it away. Here's the punt. And he signals for the fair catch.
Yeah, no chances here.
I think I might just kneel and run the half out.
Well, it might be a good idea. With the amount of time you got left, I don't think you're going to get anywhere here anyways.
And there's the kneel down by the quarterback.
Oh yeah, I guess we're going to have to sit here and wait through it anyways. Because the accelerated clock becomes unaccelerated.
That's true, but that's okay. Run the clock down as low as you can go. They've only got one timeout, so if they want to stop the clock, they'll have to do it on this play, right?
Yep.
And if they do that, well, then you can always kneel one more time and run the clock out anyways. They won't be able to stop you.
He'll just take a knee.
Well, look at that score. Wow.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
In the first 2 quarters of play, the score is...
Although it'd be good if we could get a touchdown.
Yeah, well, now we need to take a short break here.
All right. And we're back.
Yeah, and that is an intense first
Back
half.
to the field.
Wow.
Here are the halftime stats as we get set for the second
Very
kickoff.
even statistically, too, eh?
Booming kick downfield.
Yeah, well. We'll take the touchback. Start at the 20-yard line. That kicker's got a leg, eh?
Yeah, really.
Because there's not much wind.
So they have 1st and 10 here. They can't get it done on the ground on 1st down, John, but they're still leading in this one.
Some teams manage to get by pretty well without a
I would
solid
try
running
one of
game.
those once in a
That's
while
mostly
just to
because
see
their
if it
passing
works.
game is very
I
effective,
just think that defensive
especially their
tackle's going to
short
come through the
passes.
middle.
And onto the
What?
tailback.
What was that blocking?
On that play, everybody came through the middle.
Oh, what gets me is look at this. Look at
Yeah,
this.
I know. Look at that. See that? Number 25, he didn't block the man that he was supposed to block, and 78 actually dropped the block first, right? And I think they're trying to play a numbers game. It looked like he was attracted by the middle linebacker there. But
Junk.
they, like really, they should have traded over one further, right?
Absolutely junk blocking.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens, though.
It's 2nd down and a long way to go.
But I would totally try to run from that full house formation a little bit.
Houston goes in motion. On the catch.
Wow, really?
Stopped behind the line.
I'm pretty sure we have a tight end on that side.
time.
Yeah, well, I don't think anybody did any blocking over
This line
there.
is very aggressive up front. They like to stunt and use power moves to get into the backfield. A lot of teams think that the best way to move the ball on the ground against them is to run it right at them. Try and wear them out. Looks like they may be trying to do that same kind of thing.
The defense has had difficulty stopping them on 3rd down. White in motion. Drops back. Looking down.
Oh shit, I threw that wrongly. Well, it's okay, he didn't catch it anyways.
Yeah.
Wants to make the next round.
But they had everybody pretty well covered there anyhow.
Well, at least I got it to the receiver.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it wasn't a bad pass or anything. It was just that even if he catches it, he's not going anywhere anyways, right? They'd had it that well covered. Just because it's been this kind of game, right?
Here's the kick. Took his eyes off the ball, and it's up for grabs.
Oh, pick it up. Run it. Go.
Oh my god.
We got a break there.
That was
Wow.
awful.
Wow.
He had great speed and vision, and he showed us the
Yo, I
patience
grabbed
to see
the
range.
gunner there and I steered him around the guy.
Yeah.
And then he just fumbled. I don't
Yeah,
know why
well,
he fumbled
not only that, but he couldn't pick it up after he fumbled it either, right? He took about 2 or 3 tries at it before you finally got there.
He went reaching for the jar of Stickum on the sideline and ended up grabbing the jar of lard.
Yeah. We had a spy on their side that substituted grease for the Stickum.
Yeah,
The
really.
kick is up, and the extra point is good.
That was a huge break. Wow. I can't believe that. I thought we were going to be, I was going to be defending and, starting in our own side of the midfield. And all of a sudden we're up by 10.
Nice kick. Plenty of distance. From the 7-yard line.
Well, that wasn't much of a hit stick.
No, well, I don't think that guy's a real big hit stick kind of guy. He's more of a coverage kind of guy, really.
The visiting team have not fared well on first down when they've gone to the air today, John. Very low percentage.
I guess that's what happens when you try to hit stick with a player who's too small.
Oh, look at this. Wow, that guy's fast enough. He just ran away from that linebacker that shot the gap, eh?
Yeah.
He just exploded towards the marker.
But he does have 87 speed.
That was a big-time run.
The corners are backing off. They're having no success running on first down.
Which is one reason why they find themselves on the short end of the stick right now. It's hard to have consistent success without balance.
When you think about guys with great hands, he's very close to the top, John.
I'll tell you what, he does a great job of using his hands and not letting the ball get into his body. He's worked very hard to improve his pass catching, and I think he's become one of the best out there.
They're having no success running on first down.
That's why they're losing. You got to be able to get yards on first down.
Throwing on first down.
Boom.
Yeah, see, this is my new defensive scheme. And so what I'm doing here is basically he has man coverage on this guy.
Yep. But he's given up the outside.
But he's given up the outside. He has man coverage on this guy. And then these 3 guys are all playing deep zones, right? And I'm pass rushing with this fellow and this linebacker and the defensive end here. And what happens is the tackle, for some reason in this alignment, the tackle can't decide which guy he wants to block.
Yep.
At first. So he turns to the outside and blocks the end, which allows the linebacker to come through.
Yeah, and he just gets a free shot.
And there's another interception opportunity. Because what I'm doing here too is the guy you see running across the formation like that,
he's in man coverage.
He's in man coverage on that tight end. But that tight end's running like a really, really shallow drag and gets kind of hung up in the line a little bit. And so the guy covering him, I don't know whether he just wasn't looking or what happened there, but
yeah, who knows?
Giving some cushion on the outside. The quarterback lines up with 2 backs behind him. Pressure coming. Gets rid of it. Swings this pass to his running back out on the right side. Caught the pass but didn't go in.
Well,
They were on him like glue.
Caught the pass for no gain.
Yeah.
I wonder if he only caught that. Maybe it was backwards or something. I don't know.
Here's a look at the third down success.
It really makes you
rate
wonder
for
why a
each
player
team.
would catch a pass like that.
Conversions is a
Yeah,
keeper
I don't know.
When you convert on third down, you keep three things. You keep your drive.
There's
going,
Greg
you keep
May.
your defense on the
Holy
field,
crap,
and
what
you
are they
keep
gonna be,
your
fourth
defense
and, like,
resting on the
20?
sideline.
The rookie broke up the play and sacks the quarterback.
He's a player who can come in and contribute
4th and
right away
21, oh my
because of
God.
his pure physical talent.
The only way that series could have turned out better is if I'd have forced a turnover.
Moore is ready to punt this one away. Here's the punt.
I'm not going to field that. I'm just going to run away from it.
Yeah, probably at. Well, there you
Look
go.
at
You
that,
got,
we got
like
a 10-yard return on it
12-yard
just by
return.
doing nothing.
And we ran some extra time off the clock. Look at that.
Yeah.
First and 10. Despite very little success running on first down, they still lead.
And running is important, but they've got other weapons that can get them in the end zone.
They give it to the halfback. Threw it. Brings him down.
Well, you managed to lunge ahead for a couple.
Going back to the run on that play.
That just goes to
Yep.
show you that the coach trusts the guy to hang on to the ball.
2nd and 8 coming up here. Calling an audible.
Yeah, the safety managed to slip by
Couldn't even get
and
out of the
avoid the
back.
guy who was going to try and block him.
Extremely
Eh?
active and effective
Oh,
up front.
well.
They do a good job of getting upfield quickly.
These
Creating
things
havoc in the
happen.
backfield.
You just
Misdirection
have to
plays
accept
and
them when they
draws
do.
would be a good way to use their speed and aggressiveness against them.
The lineup of 6 defensive backs.
And I say, why not? Right? Against a dime defense?
Handed off to the back.
Well,
Wow, that was awful blocking.
yeah.
Didn't have much to work
Yeah,
with.
that rookie right tackle isn't quite a match for a superstar all-Madden level left end just yet.
Like this, a hard count could be an effective way.
Because that's
He will
basically
be someday
Yeah,
because of his
that's,
strength.
that's
but-
basically what these guys have, right? They have like an all-Madden level defense.
Yeah, they just don't have an all Madden level offense.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. We'll just play the waiting game
Very
here.
shallow punt.
That took a nice bounce and roll. Might not be inside the 20, but it's at the 20.
Yep.
It's 1st and 10.
I think that's literally on the 20.
Rushing on first.
Uh-oh. I've got pooched up here with
Calls a timeout.
my audibles for some reason. I just couldn't find the handle.
Well, it's okay. Better to use your timeouts.
So they have 1st and 10 here. The visiting team haven't done the job on first down. They've gone to the air.
When you see that, and then you look at the scoreboard.
There, see that?
kind of
Big
gives an
crowd in the
idea of
middle.
what they need
Playing
to
the
do better.
4-4.
Trying to move the ball
Yeah,
on
you
the
actually
ground.
stood up against the full house.
Yeah, and you know what? Who made the tackle was number 43 moving back. Right? You see how he's lined up out here?
Yep.
And like, look at how he's able to pursue and go to where the run is, right?
Yep.
It basically gives you extra personnel in the middle so they can't do that block fuckery thing and send a offensive lineman out to block one of your 3 deep guys, right?
Yep.
They have to, basically all of their blocks are eaten up by the guys who are close to the line of scrimmage.
Ball on their own 23. The corners are giving a bit of a cushion. Number 34, the deep back.
I'm feeling a little vulnerable here if they run up the middle now, but on 2nd and 7, I'm thinking they're probably going to try pass.
Dropping back, closing in, throwing.
Oh, wow.
Nice ball going to the air, and that'll move the chain.
That was quite the catch.
Yeah, he's definitely living a charmed life, that guy. I can't believe that pass actually got through and worked.
The visiting team have had a tough time throwing on first down.
It's the sweep.
Yeah, he's not completing too many.
It's not going to work against this defense.
Well, that's the first time they've tried that, actually.
And was cut down quickly.
These guys up front are very tough to block because they can use their size and strength to get excellent leverage on running plays. Sometimes they struggle a little with their consistency, but they always seem to be a big factor when the game's on the line.
That's fine. I can do this, too.
Aimed it off to the back. Stiff arm. The defender goes down. Ostrich stops him at the 41. Number 34 covered some good ground there.
Hey, nice job up front, holding their blocks and allowing him to get a good run for a first down.
Well, on the bright side, every time they run the ball, you're forcing them to run the clock.
So they have 1st and 10 here. The quarterback gets set with only one back behind him. Another run. Seymour makes the tackle at the 50-yard line.
He's very consistent running the ball.
Well,
he's given them a solid rushing attack today.
They have to reach the 49.
They're definitely working the run. Anyway.
Pressure, flings it to the outside. Incomplete.
Have a look at this big defensive lineman.
Yeah, Holt playing the flat.
Hands up, and he knocked it down.
And he's getting some help from another defender there playing man coverage.
Hands it off to the back. Brown makes the tackle at the 43-yard line. Good gain there and a first down.
If the defense keeps giving up runs like that for first downs, they'll have to make some adjustments to slow this guy down.
So they have 1st and 10 here. They'll go from the I formation. Passing on first down.
Wow.
By Boston.
That'll keep the clock
Boston
running, too.
gets the sack.
Nice job, Boston.
Yeah.
Throw it away. You can't take the sack and lose yardage like that.
And this is the 9th play of this drive. Ball right around midfield. The home team doesn't want a long pass over anybody's head here, so they back up the secondary. Slings it to the outside. Strong move.
Yeah, strong move for no gain.
Yep.
Pass but didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, the defense is real good.
That was the fullback.
Quick end to completion.
10th play of this drive. The ball is right at midfield. The home team backs its secondary off the line to be in better position to defend the deep pass. The visiting team line up with two backs behind the quarterback. With the pass, this one goes to the fullback.
They're just going backwards.
Yep.
Will stop short of making the first down on that reception.
Well, I defend the pass to the outside flats pretty well. Because that is definitely
He's in for his
a spot
sixth
where
punt of the
the
night.
AI tends to throw the ball a lot.
Here's the kick.
And you can't just let them have that yardage for free. You know?
This one comes back out to the 20. 1st and 10.
Yeah, like I would totally run that. Like, just see if you can get some success at this. Have you got something where you don't pull a lineman?
Yeah, the other sprint that I keep running all the time.
Yeah, but you haven't run that one yet.
I have. I've run this one several times.
Have you? I don't know.
I just get sacked a whole bunch.
He sees something in the defense. Gets the pass off, and it's caught. Beasley
There we go.
Makes the stop at the 28-yard line. A good, strong throw by the quarterback on that pass.
You know, they really put that thing in there. That's why you used to see a lot of drop passes by a defender. And it's usually because he just can't hang on to the thing.
Changing the play now.
Well, they're definitely going to force you to pass on third down. Look at Hudson over there. I don't think anyone's covering him.
Yeah, it's going to depend on what that linebacker does.
Yeah. Well, if he moves all the way out to cover Hudson, you should be able to throw it to Gaines.
You were stressed out there.
Yeah, that was tighter than I thought it would be.
I think they split the difference between all those players.
Yeah.
They realized that they had somebody uncovered, and they tried to split the difference.
Yeah. Well, now you're going to have to throw a pass again.
It's first down. Probably just
okay.
from a dive play.
You're just going to dive into the pile and try and get a yard, are you?
Yep.
Hand off to the tailback. He's brought down behind the line for a short loss. Gaines couldn't find any room on that one.
They really hustle on the defensive side of the ball. They're very good at clogging up the line, limiting the number of holes and cutback lanes at the back.
Look at this. Now they're going to do it every play.
Gaines moves in motion. He's looking, gets the pass off.
Nice.
Right
there you go. That's close to a first down.
At the 44.
Third and inches.
Delivered the pass right on time, John.
I love the way
that's so tense.
He has great touch and seems to always be putting it right there in the number.
So we've reached the end of the third quarter with the home team ahead of the visiting team. 10-0.
Wow. If you were thinking a quarterback sneak there, I don't think it's there. Wow, they ever got a lot of guys on the line there.
Dropping back, gets rid of it.
Oh.
Fourth down now after the incomplete pass.
I think they got through real fast and hit you, right?
Yeah, how do you actually... Oh, I didn't get hit there. I got a clean release there. What ended up happening was, idiot didn't follow his assignment.
Yeah. Yeah, he was pretending to pass block instead of actually getting out there to do what he was supposed to do.
Number 21 is the deep return man. This one is
I don't know why they don't just go to the end of the blocking route as drawn before they start ad-libbing, right?
I mean, I did find a way in some other screenplays to make them go out there, but the thing about it is they block later in those plays if they block.
Yeah.
First and 10.
Plus, with the actual vanilla block assignment, sometimes they'll interfere with a guy if he's playing a flat zone, and you won't get a completed pass most of the time, but at least you'll not give up like a big interception or something.
Seymour makes the tackle at the 28.
But that's okay, I guess we're burning clock.
Well, you know what? They're trying, right? They tried to get that big run up the middle again.
Mm-hmm.
But I had enough loose players in the middle there that they couldn't do it.
Drops back. Under pressure. Goes over. Almost a big
Not only was that almost an interception, that pass was ridiculously off target, too.
Yeah. Wow.
But you know how it goes. They got to pass on inches. Inches, we got to throw a pass.
Yep.
With the throw.
Oh, boy.
Stops him.
He blew his coverage.
Yeah.
They convert for the first down on that throw.
And they ran the perfect play to get those.
He completely missed that, right?
It's first and 10.
Wow. That's rough.
The quarterback lines up with two backs behind him. Just won't go down. Seymour records the stop at the 47.
Sometimes you can be a little over-aggressive on defense like you see here. You have him lined up. You over-pursue. He got caught out of position.
He's just not having a good game this game.
Was able to cut back.
I think that's the second time he's missed a tackle like that.
Pressure coming. Gets rid of it. Just
pass defense.
Yep. 96.
You have to be able to make
right.
those
I had a
defensive tackle in a short zone.
Defensive tackle playing a short zone there. Yep.
And this is the 6th play of this drive. Only one man back. Number 86 moves in motion. Dropping back. Closing in. Good play.
I got him again.
Yeah, you just blanketed the field there.
I don't think they were expecting that coverage, right?
Yeah.
As I was playing full zone there.
He just made it look simple.
Punter will come out for the 7th time.
Well, it takes away the short little hooks and curls that they like to throw all the time, right?
And the offense getting ready to come back on the field after a decent return.
They've been putting up a hard fight in this game, though.
It's 1st and 10.
Oh, look at that. They finally picked that guy up, eh?
Yep. About time.
Yeah. After getting your quarterback tackled before you could even hand the ball off 2 or 3 times. Finally,
funnily
they,
enough, every time I've audibled away from this play, it's been because they have a guy lined up right over top of my guard. But then I ran it when they had a guy lined up right over top of my guard, and then that guy got blocked. I don't understand it at all.
Yeah, well, he did it again.
Breaking free. Gets it.
I don't think Gaines is breaking free, but he'll definitely reliably run that.
Yeah, well, he broke a couple of tackles, turned that into a nice game. That's more offense than you've had since the first half.
Go figure, eh?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's line up in this.
You just have to give your stars the ball, that's all, right?
Yeah, I'll try this.
Yeah, just pound it up the middle. If you can do this against a goal line defense and make yards, you should be able to make yards against this.
Nope. See, the nickel defense is just immune to the dive.
Yeah, they should be using the nickel on inside their own 5, eh?
I actually designed a playbook where they did, knowing the characteristic of the nickel defense that has that.
Yeah.
But, you know, they unfortunately, you either have to choose, right? You can either have you use a custom playbook or them.
Well,
this could be really messy.
this could be tough. They have a lot of guys in the middle.
With the throw.
We're good.
Yeah.
Big hit there. He was run over by a truck.
2-ton truck pulling a trailer.
He was able to hit his target.
Good catch by Rose.
In the process.
That's a
Yeah, well, he makes an important one every now and then. I know I don't throw it to him intentionally, but he's like the audible guy.
Yeah.
Oh, look, now they're going to give me that dive up the middle.
Well, dive it up the middle then. See what you can get. You just never know.
Sends a man in motion. Gets the call.
There, follow that guy.
Yeah, really. Wow.
28-yard line. The home team are
I guess they shouldn't have spread the line.
right
Yeah.
now. They haven't even had a 3rd down in this drive.
There, I'd try and run around the left side now, right?
Yeah, I'm running this play again.
Yeah, well, since you're not pulling the lineman, they'll have a harder time popping the guy through real quick, right?
Number 6 with a man in motion. Aimed it off to the back.
Yeah.
Ziegler brings him down at the 22-yard line. Good game for the offense here in the 2nd half.
This is one of those guys who seems to play better as the game goes on. The more he gets the ball, the better he does. So I'd expect to see him get quite a few touches here as the game winds down.
Roberts in motion. Hand it off.
Well, you still got a couple.
At the 20-yard line. So a pickup of maybe 3. They have to get inside the 18 to convert for the first down.
Yeah, just make sure you protect the ball here because you can probably get 3 more if you have to.
Yep.
This one is handed off. Strickland pulls him down at the line. Nothing doing on that running play, so they'll probably send in the kicker.
I think so. When you've got the lead, you don't have to try anything fancy. You just tack on the 3 and put the game in your defense's hands.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh. Are we going to come up empty after all this?
I don't know.
And it's on its way.
Yep.
Nope.
Nope.
It went in. Yeah.
There we go. Benson's going to get more better at kick accuracy after this.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so.
The home team are taking control in this one.
Wow.
Well, now we're going to miss the other way a whole bunch.
Be a return here.
That's okay, though. I noticed that you've been very careful about making sure you aim those in such a way that you don't kick it out of bounds.
Yeah, I more or less just assume that I'm going to shank it to the left for the most part.
And your defense appreciates that.
1st and 10. Gives the ball off. Ostrich makes the play at the 26-yard line.
I think he broke another tackle in there, and Ostrich had to bring him down.
Yep.
Guy sure does break a lot of tackles. He is a bigger back, though.
Yeah, he breaks a lot of tackles, but... Uh-oh.
The visiting team come out with receivers bunched on both sides. Short
Get up. Tackle him.
Perfect pass. Great catch, and that'll move the
Wow.
chains.
Okay, well, they got a first down out of that, but all right.
Yeah, I think the only reason that we didn't get an interception there is because the receiver is fast enough to recover and catch that nosedive.
Yeah, see, that's a quarterback designed to run, right?
Yep.
32.
He's a quick little guy, so he's trying to
Take advantage of
around,
it.
but
Just throw the ball away.
Well, at least the blocking was there.
The corners are backing off. They've got receivers bunched together on both sides of the ball. And he steps out of bounds at the 36. Bush picks up about 4 yards on that play, so they'll be looking at third down.
okay.
All on their own 36. Loosening up the coverage on the outside. Only one man in the backfield. Pressure with the throw.
Pass defense. I love that defensive tackle running a deep zone in the middle, and he just turns around and hits that guy.
Yeah, he just crawls all over him.
It's like, yeah, I'm not going to knock the pass down. I'm not going to deflect the ball. I'm going to deflect the receiver so he can't catch it.
Yeah.
Here's the kick. Fair catch called for.
Yeah, I could have probably returned that a bit, but I'm not going to take any chances at this point in the game.
Well, that's okay.
Because I know if you take care of the ball and just run lots of time off the clock here, we'll be fine.
He sees something in the defense. Keeps his feet moving. Carrier with the stop. At the
Kind of had
21-yard line.
some awkwardness there because
Blocking on that play.
my guard got pushed back into my
Very
face.
impressive when defending the run.
Yeah,
They're
well, the
extremely
blocking didn't
disciplined.
really set up
They
very
get off
well
their
there.
blocks very quickly. Makes it tough to find openings when you're running the ball.
Well, we'll try this.
Yeah, I'm in favor of it. I would totally do that again.
Roberts, the motion man. Hand it off.
Wow, that's awful.
The play in the backfield. He laid a good hit on a
Well,
man for his fifth.
it's not the end of the
game.
world.
His excellent positioning led to that stop behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll do that kind
You just
of
got to
thing.
make sure
He's
you
one of the
take care of the
smartest players
ball.
at defensive end. He always seems to be in position. He uses his hands well, and he has those long arms. And that really helps him shed blockers.
That might be interesting. Wouldn't it be funny if you could run for a first down on this, eh?
Number 6 with a man in motion.
It would be.
With the carry.
Oh, but unfortunately we had some blocking problems.
19-yard line.
Oh, well. Clock's still running.
Yep.
Now here's the punt unit as the defense forces a 3-and-out.
That's as good as I can do.
Yep, that's a good punt.
A line drive. From the 35-yard line.
Just making sure he doesn't get outside of me, even if I give up a little bit extra.
Well, you know what?
I probably could have stopped him at the 42 if I had just gone straight to him, but I didn't want him to get outside and run for a touchdown.
Number 34, the lone setback. Simpson with a man in motion. Pass play here on first down. Fires it over the middle.
Number 96 punches it away.
Oh,
he's hurt.
Yeah, it looks like he gets to go and sit down now for a bit because he took a shot. Holt gave him a shot, eh?
Yep.
2-minute warning coming up. The visiting team line up in triple bunch. Oscar with the tackle.
The psychic receiver.
43.
Yep.
It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Drops back. Gets rid of it. Turns. He has it. Alford records the tackle at the 32.
You know, I don't think that's how that pass route is actually supposed to look, but
No, probably not.
I'm pretty sure that was one of those wide receiver comebacks.
Yeah, I think he definitely cut that. Whoops, shit.
The home team calls a timeout. They have one left. 2 minutes to the
Well, I guess that quarterback's out for a long time.
Is he?
Yep.
Number 34, the lone setback. Going to the air on first down. With the throw.
Oh.
He's at the front. He was really hit
The number of
hard.
times we've seen guys just misplay that.
Yep.
That's what happened there. He unloaded and he got a depleter.
Tap, the man in motion. Pass play here on first down. Under pressure. Gets the pass.
Oh, boy.
And they have to go to the air because they need big plays fast.
That's right. You got to have composure in these situations. Find your receivers who can pick up yardage after the catch. But most importantly, you have to keep the chains moving.
Well, late in the game, they finally make it inside the 20. Pressure coming. He just
Crunch.
got that one off. Fumble. The visiting team. Rolling.
Wow. That was a golden opportunity there.
Throws it.
Well.
Incomplete pass. Trying to convert through the air, but the pass was off the mark. Eighth play of this drive.
Here we go.
I don't think they have a choice. They have to go for it. Closing in. Throws to the end zone.
Yeah, turnover on downs.
Turn it over on
Right on.
Yeah, but now you almost have to try.
Well, now you can basically make a commitment, I think, here to run the ball 3 times and punt.
Yeah, pretty much.
They've only got one timeout, so we'll just have to see how this play goes. But
So we only got one timeout. They got 3.
Oh, they got all their timeouts?
Yep.
Okay. Well, anyway.
On the call. Thompson makes the stop at the 23-yard
Now they got 2.
line. About 4 to go.
That was odd. Most of the time when they're like that, you don't get any yards.
Mm-hmm.
To carry it. Through it, pulls him down at the 24-yard line.
I would definitely run it again here too. And then if they'll have to use their last timeout, and then it'll make it easier for me.
Looks like he's changing the play. looking upfield. Lloyd makes the play at the 25-yard line.
And if they don't spend their last time out, then run the clock down as far as you can and punt it away.
Nothing happening for the offense there, forced into a 3-and-out.
Well, we're going to go a little deeper into the playoffs this season than we did in season 1.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was a terrible punt. What are you doing?
Punting it out of bounds at the 30.
Well, they're not making my life any easier now.
Well, they're not going to score twice in 30 seconds.
I sure hope not.
It's 1st and 10. Pressure with the pass. Great throw. Alford is the guy who's there to bring him down. At the 16. They want to hurry it up here. Directing traffic. The visiting team call a timeout.
Well, they just called their last timeout.
Yep.
So they have 1st and 10 here. Well, it's really not much of a decision here. They have to go for it. Throwing on 1st down. Under pressure. Steps up into the pocket. Incomplete pass. No choice here, John. They just have to keep throwing.
Yeah, they do. Running the ball isn't going to do a whole lot of good now.
Not a lot of options here. They have to take a shot and go for it. He's looking with the throw. This pass is incomplete. Time is working against them.
I don't think anybody was at risk of catching that pass, but hey, got to pad the knockdown statistics.
Yep, they sure do.
Difficult situation here, but not much else they can do but go for it. Pressure coming. Gets the pass off. Lewis makes the play.
What do you mean go for it? It's fourth. It was 3rd down.
I don't know. He's been thinking it's 4th down for like a while.
Yeah.
Stepping up. Soft lob to the end zone.
Ah, well, they got a touchdown with no time left. Right?
Yep.
It ain't going to matter now.
Well, they're still going to kick their extra point, though.
Yeah, I know, but that's okay.
The lineup for the extra point.
Those zeros on the time clock mean this is the last play of the game.
And it's up. The extra point attempt is good. So at the end of the game, the score is 13-7.
Wow.
Not much offense feature in this
I
one.
blew your shutout, but
Yeah, you blew my shutout. But what can you do? I think that this was a very
Number 41 wins tonight's
defensive
fourth
battle.
trailer
Look at
player
that.
of
The
game.
guy who recovered the fumble for the touchdown ended up being the winning points.
yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I didn't try to score too hard after that. I just tried to look after the ball.
Yeah. Well, you got to take the good breaks with the bad, I guess. Well, that was quite something. Look at that. See, they actually had more offensive yards than we did. 20 first downs.
Yeah, I was just like run, 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 run.
Yeah. But they were only 1 for 3 in the red zone. Because I took it away from them twice.
Yep. Well, you know how it goes. Bad things happen when you go to the air.
Yeah. Well, you completed 12 of 17.
I just didn't throw a lot.
No, you didn't. And you gave the ball to Gaines 20 times. And yeah, so you actually ran about twice as much as you passed. Look at that. Alfred, the rookie cornerback with 8 tackles.
Yep.
Yeah, May, Brooks, Grimm, and Boston with the sacks.
You're just handing them out.
Yeah. That was a big play, too, at the beginning of the game there.
Yep.
That one kind of set the tone for the rest of the game, I think.
Yeah, they never really were successful passing after that.
No. Well, they completed around 50% of their passes.
Yeah, they did pretty good for that. But,
yeah,
I don't know. They also completed a lot of passes for a loss.
Yeah. Well, they threw 23 passes, though, and they ran, 17, 18, and a couple of quarterback attempted runs, I guess.
Yeah.
But, so, anyway, it wasn't a completely unbalanced offense, and they did pretty well on their average per carry. But they had no long runs, right?
Yep.
Which is kind of what my goal was there. Yeah, that middle linebacker was a busy guy.
Well, we did run it up the middle, like, pretty much all game.
Yeah. But we managed to win the big playoff game.
Yep. Who's our player of the game here?
Jack Carey.
Jack Carey.
Cornerback on special teams.
Oh, there you
recovers
go.
the fumble and runs it back for a touchdown.
Well,
So-
we made it further this time round, and we'll have more progress yet.
Yep. I wonder who we're going to play.
I don't know.
Anyway, I guess we'll find out next time.
Yep. I'm RecV5.
I'm Sandman99.
Have a good one.
Defensive God.
Ha!